Okay, in this video I want to show you how to do a live cell run, starting with the live cell stage which has already been calibrated. So we've already done the calibration, which finds where all the wells are, and we've got our well plate all ready to go into the stage, and we've got the gases set to a normoxic condition, so 5% CO2 and atmospheric air, which is 21%. It's reading a little bit less than 21% at the moment because I've turned off the gases at the moment. So the gases will be turned off here on these black switches. So that's the nitrogen from left to right, the CO2, and then the air, which is on this side. So the first thing to do is to put our well plate into the stage. So we open up the top of the stage here, push this back, being careful that these don't get caught in the stage. So push that back, open the doors here, unscrew the retaining bolt on this stage. Take the bolt off, take the top off, be careful not to break it because it's glass. Then we put our well plate into the stage, and it's normal practice to have the kind of beveled edges on the left hand side, although it's not essential. So we get that in place. You've got this little hook here, you need to get the stage past that, so it needs to be pushed into position there. Make sure the stage is kind of locked into place, so maybe take the stage out and just reinsert it so it clicks into place. So that's secure, and then just put the lid back on. Put the clip, the screw into place. So just make sure that's all sturdy, and then close the doors. It's good to have the condenser up to its maximum height, which you can adjust on there, so just have that up to its maximum. That prevents images going light at the end of the run. So just shut the doors. And then turn the gases on, so nitrogen on, CO2 on, air on, and that will then start to increase to 5% CO2, 21% oxygen, and you can see that bubbles are going through the bubbler. Okay, so software wise, this has already been partially set up, so we just want to make sure we are imaging, say, every 60 minutes, in this case 60 minutes per time point. And in this green box, click on there, click on, have it as the name of what one you want to do. So this is just a test one I'm doing, so just call it James 27 10 14. Ignore everything else on this page. Time, we normally do until stop is clicked, or you might want to change it for 80 hours, say. Make sure it's not 80 time points but 80 hours or 72 hours, whatever you want here. So normally during a weekday run I would have it until stop is clicked, then that gives you the option of stopping it yourself. Then I would click on points and just make sure it says Ludo XY stage. that means it's going to move from point to point. So channels, bright field, here we go. So then just press OK. Then you've got two views. You can have a video live view, which is at the moment live video, or video XY stage, which is the other view. That's where you get to see all the well plates. So here, this is the 24 well plates left from a previous run. So what you will want to do is to go stage, clear all points. So all those red crosses are now gone. Then go to bright field. So channel 8 opens the shutter as it happens. So the Ludo shutter opens, and you can. I've already calibrated the stage, so you can just move around from point to point just by double clicking on the thing here. So if we got our first one, let's say B1, double click on B1, and you might want to set it to phase imaging, in which case you just go over to the microscope where it says 5 times. 5 times is the objective, by the way, which you can change using the software, or to swing the objective round. So if you just press this black button, I think it's the furthest one, if I just press that, then it will go around to phase 1, which is phase imaging. Okay, so that's all done. Shut that, go back to here, then go to, we want to get the image through the eyepiece to start with. So we're on the right well, we just need to go to video, live video. So we're not seeing anything at the moment on the screen because we need to go around to the microscope. We need to get the eyepiece open, and on these 3 switches here, the middle button, if you just keep pressing that until it says 100% binocular, 50-50, so 100% binocular, so we should now start to see some kind of image through the eyepiece. So let's see if this works. I've tried this before. Okay, there's some sort of cells here, take my word for it. Go a little bit nearer. Anyway, so I look down the eyepiece, and this is a run which is previously run, so there won't be the scratch on this wound healing assay, but normally you would see some sort of scratch. So I can focus on the side here. So if I get the sort of the cells in focus, so that would be where the scratch is, say. Or I can translate using the joystick here. So this particular wound is all healed up. Instead, don't press the button on top of the joystick because it upsets the calibration. But just move around. I'm going to pretend I found a scratch here. So that looks good. It's in the right position. So then I change this middle one here to until I get to 100% left. So that's on the right. It's a little bit strange. So that might be our image, say. Might be a little bit dark. So what I can do then, actually what you should do is just turn off the eyepiece there. Go back to here. Get the focusing right, because even though it's focused on the eyepiece, it's not necessarily focused on the image because there's a slight path difference. So you can adjust the focus. So it's that's quite in focus to my eyes of the screen. Then go to what do we do next? Turn off auto contrast. Or in fact, just before that, as it's in focus, you can go to this number here, which is the Z. If you just click on that icon, just go set 0. So that's now called 0 on the focus. Then turn off the auto contrast. Do the auto exposure, which is this one. So you're looking to get the image a little bit brighter. The image does get brighter at times, so it's good to start on the sort of darker side of bright. That looks pretty much okay as a start. Remember, that would have the wound heat, the scratch on it, but it doesn't because this particular one's healed. But let's just pretend there's a big scratch in the middle of it, and then just set auto contrast. If you're happy with that lightness, so it's 55 milliseconds at the minute. If you're happy with that, then just put auto contrast back on and press that little save icon, that little grey one there. Then go to video XY stage. So that would be, say, our first point. And if you're happy with that, then you can just do stage add point, and that will put a little cross on there. So then you can go on to the next well. So you just double click in here, and then you'll get your image here. And so that might not be right in the well, so you can go hunting for it with the joystick. Blah blah blah. Find it. There it is. Don't worry about the focus for the minute, but you can do focus if you want to. But then you just go image stage add point. You can't delete points, by the way, but just add it onto the list and ignore that particular point. Then you can go on to the next one. So you get the idea. So you can just move around, find what area you want, add point. When you're done, so when you've done all the points, then you can go to review points to get the focus positions. So we go to stage, not clear all points, that would delete everything. Go to review points, and you might want to see this in the, it's probably best to do the review points where you focus with the live video screen. You can see it better. So you just get this into focus. Yeah, let's pretend that's focused. Then next, so that locks in the focus position. So the focus position's here. So it would save that value each time. So you just adjust the focus. So that value is now changing. And when you're happy with that, just press next. So a little bit out of focus there. So just adjust the focus. When you're happy with that, just press, so it says finish at the end, and then that's all done. You might want to just a final check that you've got, say, 60 minutes per time point. Double click on this green icon here, just make sure it says your name and the date on it. It says bright field. All these other things are standard, so just make sure they say what you're seeing on the screen here. There is a little bit of text here at the bottom which helps. So it says your name, date, capture until stop button is pressed, capture one, channels by imaging, light paths, blah blah blah. So that all looks okay. Time, yeah, until stop's clicked, points, then it says XY stage here. Forget about all these other things, you don't need them. And then just press OK at the end, so that's all okay. So the final thing left to do is just to press the red button, which starts the process. So that then goes around each well. Taking the photos. Then it will wait here, obviously, for an hour to do the next set of pictures.